kid who was raised on the planet of Shiki is a young and determined kid who was raised on the planet of Granbell by the legendary Demon King. The Demon King passed on his skills and knowledge to Shiki, teaching him how to use ether gear to manipulate the force of gravity. As they gaze up at the night sky, a shooting star streaks across it. The wise Demon King told him to one day explore new lands and make friends, as they were the most important thing in the world. And if those friends cry for him, he must stay by their side and never let them go. But that same night, Shiki's world shatters as he watches his beloved grandfather suddenly stop moving. Despite his desperate attempts to fix him, it is already too late. Years later, a bright and bubbly girl named Rebecca and her cat Happy arrives at the Granbell Kingdom. During a quest, they come across a massive robot cat, but Shiki comes to their rescue and defeats it. After a bit of a scuffle, Shiki and Rebecca become fast friends. Shiki reveals that he's never met another human before, and he longs to explore the world. However, he decides to stay behind and fix up the machines. Later that night, Michael reveals a stunning secret to Rebecca. Shiki is the Demon King's grandson, and they've been taking care of him since he broke down 10 years ago. The next day, Shiki wakes up to find the kingdom deserted. Meanwhile, Rebecca wakes up tied to stakes outside. The king reveals to Shiki that humans abandoned the machines a century ago after they became self-aware, causing the machines to despise humans. The machines plan to use Rebecca's ship to escape, and they intend to kill them both. Shocked and outnumbered, Shiki is beaten to the ground by the machines. During the attack, Rebecca tearfully reminds the machines of all that Shiki has done for them. Suddenly, Shiki remembers the wise words of his grandpa, that if you find friends who will cry for you, never let them go. With newfound strength, Shiki unleashes his ether gear, a powerful ancient ability that lets him match the machine's strength. Shiki takes on the machines and defeats the king with a single punch, causing the ground to collapse. After rescuing Rebecca and Happy, Shiki reveals his ether gear of gravity to them, which allows him to float. As they leave Granbell behind, Rebecca reveals that their journey is just beginning. They encounter the same shooting star from Shiki's childhood, which Rebecca reveals to be a dragon. Back in Granbell, the king and machines reveal their true motives. They knew their batteries would soon die, so the Demon King asked them to send Shiki away, believing that he would change the universe. As they depart Granbell, Shiki thanks the machines for being his friends and vows to never forget them. As the trio sets off on their journey, Shiki sets a goal for himself to make 100 friends throughout the universe. Rebecca introduces Shiki to BCube, a video sharing platform where people can upload videos and earn money based on their views. She plans to use their channel to make a name for themselves and earn some cash. They set their sights on Blue Garden, where Shiki can register as an adventurer and explore the universe. It's then revealed that Happy, Rebecca's cat, was once a real cat who was hit by a truck. In tears, Rebecca begged for someone to save him, and he was rebuilt as a robot. Shiki is surprised to learn this, but Rebecca reminds him that friendship goes beyond being human or machine. The trio arrives at Shooting Starlight, the Adventurers Guild, where Shiki can hardly contain his excitement. Rebecca introduces Shiki to Claris, the guild secretary, and asks her if she can register Shiki as an adventurer, despite his lack of identification papers. While they wait, Shiki notices a hologram of a giant woman named Mother, who is said to be larger than any known star. Rebecca explains that long ago, an adventurer discovered Mother by chance, and since then, adventurers have worshipped her as a goddess of space. Shiki claims that he thinks he has met Mother before, which causes the guild to laugh at him. Embarrassed, Rebecca watches as Labilia Christie, a famous BCuber, greets her and insults them. Labilia tells Rebecca to keep posting boring videos to make her look better, causing Rebecca to tear up. Shiki imagined that a guild would be like a big family, but Rebecca explains that it's more like a place for people to find work. Shiki's registration finishes, and he receives a classy adventurer rank, the lowest possible rank. Labilia's newest video goes up, and despite her terrible personality, Rebecca admits that her videos are good. Shiki decides that they will make Rebecca's videos better than Labilia's by becoming the first to meet Mother and figure out why she seems familiar to him. However, Mother lives outside their galaxy, and Rebecca's ship can't make the trip alone. They need more party members to join them, so the gang travels to a distant planet in search of Weiss, the genius doctor who fixed Happy. Along the way, they stumble upon Pina, a small android with the power to shut down any electronic device, including Shiki's ether gear abilities. However, Pina is a mystery, lacking any memories of her past. That is until they uncover a shocking truth. Pina was created by none other than Shiki's grandpa, the Demon King. While journeying through space, the group is ambushed by a space pirate ship, which captures them and projects a hologram of Elsie, the notorious space pirate. Shiki demands to know why they have been targeted, to which Elsie replies that they will be sold as slaves on the planet Gilst, causing Rebecca to panic. In response, Shiki boldly declares that he will steal the Skull Fairy, Elsie's ship, as he needs a large ship. Elsie is impressed by his courage and gives him directions to find her inside her ship. Shiki enters Elsie's room and is met with a shocking sight. Elsie has a skull-like face with a demonic twist. Elsie reveals that she aims to surpass the Demon King, and she's been waiting for Shiki. Demanding to see Shiki's Demon King powers, Elsie launches an immediate attack, slapping Shiki backward with a tentacle. Shiki tries to react by redirecting gravity to move to the ceiling, but Elsie is too quick, slamming him back down to the ground. Despite Shiki's efforts to fight back, he is hit again and again by Elsie's relentless attacks. Shiki is determined to take down the space pirate, Elsie, and demands to know who she is. But Elsie simply repeats her introduction and asks who he is. Undeterred, Shiki declares himself as an adventurer with a mission to find Mother beyond the Secura cosmos. As they fight, Elsie reveals that even Demon King Ziggy himself couldn't find Mother, which shocks Shiki. With his ether levels approaching 100,000, Shiki activates his powerful gravity gear, launching himself at Elsie and taking her down. The Skull Fairy's self-repair systems fix the damage done by the intense battle as Shiki stands over the defeated Elsie Crimson, victorious. As the group finds Shiki, they are shocked to see the pile of goop that was once Elsie. Suddenly, the laughter of the real Elsie Crimson echoes through the room as she appears on a holographic screen, admitting that she's been on another ship all along and decides to gift the Skull Fairy to Shiki and his friends. Elsie shares that the ship was previously owned by the Demon King, who took it on a quest to find Mother, but was ultimately unsuccessful. Instead, he returned with Shiki, whom he raised in Granbell before passing away. Pino is saddened by the news of her master's death. Elsie goes on to say that the Demon King asked her to give the ship to him. Shiki realizes that since Elsie was a friend of his grandfather, that makes her his friend too. Elsie then reveals one final secret. The Demon King told her that whoever reaches Mother will be born again. Excited to explore their new ship, the group discovers a throne room where Shiki boldly sits down on the throne, only to be surprised when the ship welcomes him and acknowledges him as the Demon King. Suddenly, a female android named Witch Regret appears before them, and with a clap of her hands, she cleans up and transforms the ship into its original appearance. With a grand proclamation, Witch reveals that the ship they now possess is none other than the legendary interstellar warship, Eden Zero. As tears stream down her face, Witch Regret kneels before Shiki and declares him the new Demon King of Eden Zero. But the ship has yet to regain its true power, and Witch reveals that they need the 4 shining stars to find Mother. Witch is one of them and shares that Sister, another shining star, was last seen headed to Blue Garden after their group disbanded. Determined to find Sister, the group heads to Blue Garden and makes their way to the guild to uncover any leads on the missing shining star. The guild master summons Rebecca, and she leaves with Happy, hoping to find clues about Sister. While waiting, Shiki sees Happy crying and damaged. Happy reveals that the guildmaster and Rebecca were attacked and captured by a mysterious fighter, and now they're both kidnapped. An emergency broadcast interrupts them, announcing that a group of B-Cubers has been taken to Gilst. Shiki vows to rescue Rebecca and sets course to Gilst on the Eden Zero. With determination in his eyes, Shiki listens as Witch describes Gilst. Pino asks if Witch can fix Happy, but Witch explains that only Sister can help. She then proceeds to explain the roles of herself, Sister, and the other 2 shining stars, Valkyrie and Hermit. Witch tells Pino that she is the next generation and will become the light of Edens. Anxious to save Rebecca, Shiki asks if the ship can go faster, but he is told to think rationally. The voice belongs to Weiss, who is with a mysterious woman named Hamura. Witch asks Shiki what he wants to do with them as Demon King, which catches Hamura's attention. Weiss explains to Shiki how he heard the emergency broadcast and followed him to help. Hamura, a mysterious woman who overheard Shiki's plan, wants to help too but won't reveal her true intentions. Weiss was skeptical and asked her what she's after, but Hamura only expresses her desire to challenge the Demon King. Despite Witch's protests, Hamura insists she's not after Shiki's life and offers to help them rescue Rebecca. Weiss tells Shiki that they will need all the help they can get, but Shiki wonders how Hamura could help. Then, Hamura surprises them by revealing she has been using ether gear since she was young. This shocks both Shiki and Weiss, but Witch recognizes the flow of ether. After arriving in Gilst, they manage to track down the headquarters of the Rogue Out, the criminal organization responsible for Rebecca's abduction. Shiki, Hamura, and Pino bravely rush into the church, only to find it deserted. Suddenly, a mysterious voice calls out from the giant statue inside the church, asking what they are searching for. The statue splits apart, revealing a person, who introduces herself as Sister, the head of the Rogue Out gang. Shiki confronts Sister, demanding the return of their kidnapped friend, but she reveals that they were hired by illegal to abduct the Beecubers. Suddenly, a group of Rogue Out soldiers surrounds them with guns drawn. Shiki attempts to fight them off, but things take a dangerous turn when a soldier launches a homing missile at him. As he prepares for impact, Hamura leaps in front of him, slicing the missile in two with an ether sword. She orders Shiki to pursue Sister while she battles the soldiers, and he takes off in hot pursuit. Shiki hears Rebecca's screams and rushes to her aid, breaking through the floor to find her being held captive by Alega, a strange frog-like creature who turns girls into stone furniture. Enraged, Shiki kicks Alega and unleashes a flurry of punches on him. Pino unlocks the door for the Beecubers, who give Rebecca clothes and are introduced to Shiki and Pino. Suddenly, Shiki notices a mercenary attempting to sneak attack and quickly takes action, throwing Rebecca out of harm's way and delivering a powerful clothesline to the attacker. Shiki orders Pino to escort the girls to safety. The mercenary threatens to kill Shiki for meddling in his job, but Shiki stands his ground, ready to fight to defend his team. Shiki and the mercenary clash in a fierce battle of punches and sword slashes. The mercenary sends a powerful fist towards Shiki, but he swiftly counters by throwing it back at him. The mercenary follows up with a windstorm slash, but Shiki counters with a gravity wave, pulling nearby objects towards him. The mercenary dodges the debris, but fails to notice Shiki launching an attack from the roof. Shiki unleashes a powerful gravity comet, but the mercenary prepares wind blades to counter it. However, their fight is interrupted by Sister and Ganoff. Sister orders the mercenary to find Alega, who had already fled the scene. With determination in his eyes, Shiki questions Sister about her true identity. However, she quickly deflects the inquiry and declares her intention to destroy him as one of the 4 shining stars. Shiki responds with a fierce attack, but Sister is quick to use the mercenary as a shield against his gravity spheres. This tactic only serves to enrage Shiki further, who then lands a devastating blow on Sister and all of her soldiers at once. As Sister tries to heal her team, she is interrupted by the appearance of a figure who stops her in her tracks. It's the real Sister Ivry, who sneers at her imposter and shocks Shiki with her sudden appearance. Weiss and Hamura also join the group, having found the real Sister under the church. Sister Ivry reveals that she was captured 10 years ago while on a job in Gilst, and her identity and powers were stolen by Let's Call Fake Sister. In response, Ivry kicks her imposter in the face and repeatedly stomps on it, angry and bitter at the years of stolen life. Weiss stops Ivry and the group moves on, but not before Sister Ivry turns to Shiki and recognizes him as the new Demon King. She tells him that Witch informed her of his quest to gather the rest of the shining stars, including herself. Sister then reveals that the chronophage, a creature that devours space and time, is only 10 minutes away from Gilst, adding to the already chaotic situation on the planet. As they try to run away, the ground shakes, and a building collapses as a towering tree erupts from the rubble. The team watches in awe until Sister spots Eden's Zero flying in, which alerts Shiki that the ship can't land due to the colossal trees blocking the way. Hamura uses her sword to slice the trees while Weiss transforms his assault rifle into a flamethrower to burn them down. They create a hole, and Shiki carries Rebecca and Weiss, flying through the gap. They reach the ship, and it takes off, leaving the planet behind. The crew watches as the chronophage engulfs the planet, turning it back 12 years in time. Shiki breaks into tears and admits that he was scared of losing a friend. Sister comments on how weird the new Demon King is, and Witch reveals that Shiki is the same child the Demon King took in years ago. Witch says they'll be able to reclaim the Eden's Zero's true power when they find Valkyrie and Hermit. When Weiss asks if she knows where they are, Witch says she doesn't, but glances at Hamura's sword. Hamura confirms that it belonged to Valkyrie but says she doesn't know where she is. She reveals that Valkyrie is her master, and she is also looking for her. Hamura asks to stay on the ship so she can help find Valkyrie in their new adventure.